Hello, welcome to another edition of Fully Booked Meets. You're here today with myself, Mace.
Myself, French.
Myself, Andrew P.
And we're joined by a special guest today by the name of Hector. Clap for him, guys, come on.
Wow.
Special guest.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Hector. So, rather than me go into depth about why you're here, what you do, what you're about, do you want to just start us off, tell us a bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the questioning? Is that good enough?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's led me here? Started in music business, actually. Working with a close friend of mine, Minnie G, Shepherd's Bush, West London.
Guy.
French, he knows it still. Yeah, MG. So we started just doing music, putting out mixtapes and going from there. Did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of good radio play. Choice FM at the time, Kiss, BBC, One Extra, all those good stuffs. Continued doing a few good shows and then kind of got difficult. The music business became a little bit tougher, a lot more saturated, and things changed. So that was one endeavor. Left music and started doing clothing. We started a brand called Wolfish Minds. It was Wolf. So you might have seen it around West London, all around London, all around the world.
So it's called Wolfish Minds.
Yeah.
But I've always seen it as
Wolf.
Or Flow.
Yeah.
So what's right? So have you put one of the hats today or not?
I haven't bought any Wolf stuff.
Because I used to see those hats everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I always just see that around.
Yeah.
I always see it. I say, is that Wolf? Is that Flow? So that's your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. When did you start that up?
We started that brand in 2011.
Who's we? How many of you were there?
Me and another business partner, and then eventually we were joined by two other business partners along the way. So yeah, that was birthed in 2011.
And how does because I'm kind of jumping here. I do want to touch back on the music business.
Go in anyway you like.
But how does the thought process happen where you're like, okay, I want to start a fashion label. How do you categorize what you're going to call it? How does that come about, the conversation and putting it into practice? What birthed the idea?
A friend of mine came to me one day and said, bro, let's start a clothing line. All right, cool. We started. This is what it's going to be called. We started setting about sketching and doing little designs. Then we went to see a graphic designer. Sat down with a graphic designer. Good friend of mine. Give him a shout as well. Renze, Complex. Good guy. Mm-hmm. We went to see him. Sat down. First draft, second draft, third draft, final. However many drafts later, we get to the boom, that's our logo. And then you develop on that again. Well, we started the actual clothing line product-wise with two hats.
Yes.
And we were running around the street, yo, take a picture in this hat, take a picture in this hat, take a picture in this hat. Till the buzz was like, wow, you man are doing bits, bruv. I've seen you lot thing anyway. I'm seeing pictures, I'm seeing...
And really, it's the same sweaty hat.
It's the same hat.
It's mad because that concept's in the Crushing It book, I think it was. I forget who the guy was, but that person used the same concept in terms of putting their branding or their clothes on people.
Fubu. Damon John. Yeah, Fubu. It's the same thing. He would run around music videos. All right, put it on in the music video. All right, cool, can I have it back?
I need that.
I actually need that. I got another video shoot later. So yeah, that was the concept basically. That was before I knew how he did his story. Yeah. So we did that. We was running around. Then 2 hats turned into 12 hats, and then 12 hats turned into 24 hats, and then 24 hats turned into boom. We just got a case from China, and then started licking them out. The streets was buying. Every girl, yo, you want to buy a hat? There you go, 2 for 25. There you go. Boom, hand to hand sales.
All right, sorry. 2011. So we got to remind the viewers, this is before Instagram?
Yeah, I'm going to say. Instagram was definitely 2000.
Yeah, but it's not popping like it was now.
It's not popping.
So this wasn't popping. What era is this? Facebook. What is the main social platform?
Facebook's the predominant social platform that people are heavily active in.
And are you using that to your advantage? You're not even thinking like that at the time?
No, definitely like, look what we're selling.
Yeah.
Buy something. Hit me up. Come and link me. Whatever, yo, have you seen this? You want to buy something? It was definitely used to as it was, you know, especially as people would. That's where people would see pictures. Mm-hmm. So it was like, oh, I saw the picture on Facebook. You lot are doing some stuff. Yeah, cool. Do you want to buy one? We've got T-shirts now. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. So then Instagram eventually came along, and it was just another flow into the promotional sphere of what we were doing.
So what happens where's the crossover from? Was it the artist called MG?
Mini G, yeah.
Yeah, Mini G.
Yeah.
Where's the crossover from Mini G and Wolf Clothing?
Okay.
Or did that stop?
No, it was
the clothing
it was a
start?
shutdown. Me and Minnie fell out. It was it was a madness. But that's all happy days now. Me and him fell out.
Yeah.
I went away. I was in America for a while.
Yeah.
Started doing some work over there.
Yeah.
Came back. Was just regular job. Just had a regular job. I was working, thinking about the next moves, and then my guy hit me up, said, "Joe, we should do something." All right, cool. Boom. That was October 2011.
But before you started that, did you have any experience in business? So obviously you said you linked up with your bridge and it was like, let's set up a business. Not everyone could just say, okay, look, cool. What was your experience before that?
The experience in business, I've been around. My grandparents were self-employed. My grandmother was a caterer. My granddad was a self-employed electrician. So I would see business, self-employed, there at home for a start. My mum took over my grandma's business. Other businesses, apart from the roads, there was pretty much just seeing those businesses and looking around and seeing who else was doing different stuff. Obviously, Trapstar was around at the time. Benjart was around at the time. So clothing business was something that we could physically see being done. So it was, okay, cool. They keep going and going and going and going and going. So it was the line of things to do could be seen.
So just for the benefit of the listeners and the viewers, can we just clarify, are you from the kind of Shepherd's Bush area?
Acton,
yeah.
Shepherd's Bush. I lived in Acton, lived in Shepherd's Bush for a little bit.
Okay.
But when I was in Acton, I would hang around in White City.
Yeah.
I went to school in Fulham.
Okay.
I went to school in Acton as well. I left Acton, I went to school in Fulham.
Yeah.
So my network is West, Bush, Acton, Grove, Ealing, out, South, all that way. I'm up and down. So yeah. West London predominantly.
Yeah, it's only because you mentioned some brands which are doing really, really, really like big things such as Trapstar. I know they're really
they're West London. So all the trap boys, I know all the trap boys. They're friends and acquaintances. We know them from early 90s. So yeah. And
what's the deal at the moment with the Wolf Clothing?
Wolf took a back seat to another brand that we started. I'd say 2015. Wolf was plodding along, doing okay, but it wasn't booming. Yeah. And then we started a new brand in 2015 that was called BlVck Clothing, Black with a V instead of an A. We started that in 2015, and that was where we saw the real success rather than the superficial success. I want to say superficial success, but like that's when we really saw the numbers moving. It was a different level of business.
Before you get to that though. Because you was on the way down, and P, you mentioned about
I didn't want to just jump in.
I was going to say, obviously, you lot's marketing tactics was to put around a lot of stickers with the Wolf, and they're still up now. Like you can drive around ends and
for sure. You could drive around the world. I'll be honest with you.
Wow, so
you could drive around the world and see them.
I was going to ask, P, you?
No, I mean, you explained obviously what your brand is and stuff like that because on the way up, I was telling French, I said. I was quite excited to actually have you here because I've always seen the stickers around and obviously French had the hat before and I've always kind of like tilted my head as to Flow and Wolf and stuff like that. So I was quite intrigued actually to find out obviously what the brand is about. But again, obviously continue because I know you spoke about moving from one brand transitioning to another.
The stickers, that was an idea I had that I'd seen more graffiti artists than a couple of brands doing it. It wasn't really a thing heavily done by clothing brands.
It's a graphic. It's a
graphic. It's a graphic.
Just throw it up and
it's a graphic
stick it
thing.
on the train or whatever.
Yeah, and I like that culture. I love it. So I'll get my pen out and I'll scribble. I've never been a professional grapher. Like I really know professional graphers now, and now I know I wasn't one of them. But with that, I've made my mark on the world with those stickers. I saw what those graphers were doing, and my memory is good. So when I see something, I'll say, I saw that there. And then if I see it again, I'll know I saw it. I could see the same person twice in a day and know that I've seen that person somewhere else. Yeah. So my memory was good. So I knew that method of marketing, it was to get into people's minds. Very good point. It was to stick in your mind. You would see that and you'll think, what is that? You would ask a question. But I also put the web address. So it was direct marketing, but as well as direct, it was to stick in your mind subconsciously that I know that brand from somewhere. I want to find out what that's about. I want to do something. That's some cult. As well as for us, the brand Wolf was more than just, hey, buy some clothes, we're really cool. It was a mind frame kind of. It was a mind frame thing. It was Wolfish Minds was, you are a wolf in sheep's clothing. You have to move with the mentality of a wolf in this thing here, in this thing that we call life, because it's dangerous. You have to be a little bit of a wolf. You can't just be a regular sheep and think that you're gonna progress to the next levels. So that was part of the mind activity that went into the stickers as well for me. So yeah.
So part of that mindset that you're talking about with Wolfish Minds, was that birth from being on the roadside, or is that birth from reading books or just life experience?
I'd say a combination of all. It's definitely a combination of being on the roads. We were around. We grew up in Acton, Shepherd's Bush. Acton is a crack town. So being in and around that and seeing that, you think, all right, cool, those guys are wolves. You see, those guys are actually wolves, but they're out and bad wolves. And I can't afford to be one of those out and bad wolves, because that's a dangerous game to play. It's the jail or the cemetery. We all know the story. We've seen it played out several times. So as well as not wanting to be one of those guys, you have to work out, all right, so what do I want to be? I want what they have, but I don't want to move the way they move. So I have to move like a wolf, but I have to dress a little bit like a sheep. So from a corporate standpoint, you also want to maneuver in a certain way to get to where you want to get to. So that's another side of it. Like I said, it's a combination of all three. We wanted to actually be the wolves about and move and get what we wanted done and be a little bit aggressive, but also, no, we're nice guys, don't worry, we come through nice, don't worry about it. That's why it's backwards. It's about what do you see when you look in the mirror, not what does everybody else see in you. What do you see when you look in the mirror?
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Mate, you was going to ask another question then?
Yeah, I was going to go back because I know you touched on 2015, the new brand BlVck, but before you get to that, you talked about the fact that you eventually upscaled, and next minute it's production in China on the wolf stuff. What did you get to with the wolf clothing? I know you done the hats. Did you do t-shirts as well?
Yeah, we done hats, we done t-shirts, hoodies, jumpers, long sleeve t-shirts, tracksuits. Yeah.
And eventually you had websites. So you selling online.
We sell online. Yeah. We had our own website, wolfishminds.com.
Yeah.
And then we started to sell via ASOS Marketplace. Okay. So that was the catapult. That was a new platform for us to sell clothes on. So that was 2014, 2015. We took Wolf to ASOS Marketplace. Yeah. Then that's when 2015, when BlVck was born. In 2015 on ASOS Marketplace. So that started there. That didn't start anywhere else. That started at ASOS while we were in that field. So that's when, boom.
How did you link up with ASOS in the first place? And is that what catapulted you so that you could move production to China? Or was that already in the making? How did it work?
Production in China is not something everybody wants to do. Yeah. I wouldn't advise it at this point. It's expensive. Our first interactions with China was you send off, you say, all right, this is what I want to do. Make this hat for me. Send me a sample. Boom, sample comes. Yeah, this is great. This is lovely. Do me a batch now. The batch comes. What is this? It's different. There's the big ones. There's small ones. There's off ones. There's crooked ones. It was a mess. So that kind of burned our experiences with manufacturing in China. Yeah. We still got some good stuff that we got from them, but there were bad experiences that put us off going back to China. It's a tough. If you're not there, you're not overseeing production. I've done
that stuff before.
Yeah, you're not overseeing production. If you ask for a discount, this is something we learned early. If you ask, no, can you do it cheaper? They'll say, yeah, sure, we'll do it cheaper. And they'll do it cheaper. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll do it with a lesser quality. They'll do it, and that's what we found. Can you push the price down a little bit? Yeah, sure, no worry. Cool. Boom, you get your product and the price has been pushed down in quality. It's a reflection in what you've asked for. Yeah. So that's what led us to manufacturing for ourselves.
Okay.
To be honest. Yeah, that was one of the things that made us to want to do it for ourselves. So we started we went to these guys over, and we not too far away. They're just down the road there. Good guys, but we tried to go and work with them, and it was like, yeah, cool, we can do this, and yeah, cool, we can do that, and then the relationship didn't work out straight away. So we said we're gonna do this for ourselves. So we got some equipment, screen printing equipment, and we went and started manufacturing for ourselves. This is before BlVck, so this is gonna be 14 going into 15. Yeah, we started screen printing for ourselves. So that was another catapult into the changing of the business. Yeah.
And how does the relationship with ASOS come about then? Talk me through that.
The relationship with ASOS it's not as difficult as most people would think. Yeah, like from our side, we're gonna tell people, man, it's mad hard. We're gonna tell people, yeah, it's hard, bro. You gotta jump through 10 hoops. But initially, for us, to put in an application, they approve your brand. If they like you, if you got the correct amount of products, if you've got the correct photography stuff and things like that, and then boom, you're in the game. So yeah, that was a game changer for us.
Did you go for a rejection period with them, or was it a case of your stuff was on point to begin with?
No, we was on point. We were on point from the start. Okay. Yeah.
Moving away slightly from your journey, I know obviously we'll get back into it.
Yeah, sure.
What you're planning to do and everything. But like obviously on here we discuss books and their impact in our lives and how they can better us. So in regards to, I guess, reading, like are you an avid reader? Do you read a lot?
Do you know, I've been through avid reading periods and then fallen off for a while and then gone back to reading, and I'm in a better reading place now, so that's good. I'm back to reading. This is like my Bible sometimes.
Go-to.
Yeah, this is a go-to. I read this consistently over and over again to kind of remind myself of the importance of what they speak about in this book and what the points are and the secrets that you need to keep in focus all the time. So yeah, this go-to. I recently I'm halfway through The Art Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm finding that I can apply it to myself a lot at this point in my life. So yeah, those are my go-tos. But yeah, over the years, a few good books, definitely.
What got you into reading? Was it a case of did someone suggest it, or was it a case you picked up a book and you thought, I actually enjoy this moment?
I'd say my mum was always a reader. I was always like around books in my house continuously. My mum would be in the book rather than the telly or the magazines or anything rubbish like that. My mum would read. So she kind of let me know that was a good pastime rather than just consuming idiot box stuff. So yeah, my mum was a reader. So yeah, from school, I read there was a book called what was the book? Baby Father, I think it might have been called.
Okay.
One of those books. It was a fiction, but when I read that, I remember the story. They went on to a holiday, played the Las Americas, and it was a boys' holiday and stuff like that. That kind of made me think, oh yeah, I could dive into books, and reading books and watching films and realizing how much better the book was than the film made me want to read more books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which film was that? Sorry. Film and the book, because I've had that experience as well. I forget the film.
Antoine
Gone
Fisher.
Girl.
Antoine Fisher. There's a book. There's a film called Antoine Fisher. The film stars Denzel, and I can't remember the guy, but he's quite big now. He's quite big, but the detail that was in the book as opposed to the hour and a half of film, you realise this is a lot different here. There's a lot different. So yeah. Those are my things that propelled me to books, definitely.
So see, when you first started doing your businesses initially, so from the Wolf clothing, was there anything that you was reading at the time then that we could say, all right, this is going to help with my marketing, I'm going to read
Richard
X
Branson.
So yeah.
Yeah, reading Richard Branson and understanding the concept of not trying to do everything yourself. And understanding that you've got to hire and surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, people that know more than you, people that specialize in things that you don't specialize in, that can help you do what your objectives are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good read in the beginning of the business, Richard Branson.
I mean, you seem to have had like an entrepreneurial mind from early. I mean, that thing you just mentioned there in regards to surrounding yourself with different personalities, let's say, with different skill sets. Have you found that easy or hard? Because me personally, I found that, I don't want to say hard, but that's something which I've had to work on, dare I say, in that almost entrusting people with my vision, dare I say. You know what I mean? So how have you found it?
Not difficult. It will force you to humble yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel that it's done for me. It's forced me to humble myself and say, I don't know everything, and I can't actually learn everything that he mastered, and that he mastered. I can't master all of those things. So he needs to come stand next to me. Mm-hmm. So I'd say it's humbling to know that you can't do everything, but at the same time, you need the people around you. So yeah, if you want to progress, you have to say, right, cool, you know that, all right, you can stand there and do that. I haven't got time or patience, or it's not my thing. It's just not, some things are just not your thing. And more and more you'll realise that. More and more.
And what skill sets did you feel you needed straight away based on reading like one of your first few books, the Richard Branson book? I need to read that, in fact.
Yeah. I knew that straight away I wasn't a graphic designer. I'd like to sketch, but actually, the first one, isn't it? Yeah, but actually converting that and using Photoshop and Illustrator and Corel Draw and all these things and seeing what my graphic designer could do as opposed to what my mind could do, and converting it from my mind to physical form. Mm-hmm. No, I can't do that. It's tough. So you make that your job. Even like some of the processes in the business, I'd realised, that's not actually my thing. I haven't got the detail in my hand to screen print and to design and do all of the things that needed to be doing. So I have other people around me, and we work together as a team to do those things. Yeah.
No, you definitely got to play your strengths.
And be accepting of playing your position. Know what your position is. And try and execute and excel in your position, and knowing that other people's roles are for them. Yeah. You can't do everything.
Of course.
And I'll say, just for, I don't want to say the general public, I don't know if you found it difficult or easy, but I mean, do you think it's an easy, let's say, skill to kind of get people to buy into your vision? Because by the looks of things, I'm not to say it was easy, but like the vision was caught on straight away, and then you knew where you're going. I'm sure you obviously had ups and downs, but selling your concept to other people, whether it's your friends or just other people with skill sets, how'd you find that?
I'd say from early days, the foundations of our business, we were on the same page. So it started off just two of us, and then a third guy came on, and then he fell in line to what we were trying to do. So we didn't really have to sell it to many more people after that. That was the trinity. We was moving in unison at that point. So we didn't really need to sell it to anybody until we started talking to investors and things like that. So at that point, if you're doing some good stuff, people will see, oh, there's some success there. They're drawn to you rather than needing to be convinced.
I don't know who I was talking to recently, but they were talking about investors. Now, is it a case of, due to your visibility, investors will gravitate towards you, or have you gone in search of investors? I know it can work both ways.
It can work both ways, and it's a tennis game sometimes. It's a tennis game. Like if you got an investor that's interested, you got to play some tennis with them and like, look what we're doing. They'll look at what you're doing and they'll say, all right, cool, that's what you're doing. This is what I'm willing to do for you. No, tennis back again. No, this is what we're really doing. We're doing more. Come. And then it comes back, and then it's always in the negotiation. So,
and I'm sure this is quite a simple answer, but I mean, do you find you have to take your brand or your product to a level before you start getting involved in this tennis game, or is it a case of sometimes you can sell your concept and hopefully the investor will buy into the vision and the journey?
It's different for all businesses, really. It's different. So for us, we had our ball rolling at the time that we started talking to our investors, but once the investors came in, it was a game changer, and it was like, oh, this is what we're really capable of doing. So we kind of had to show a vision, so to speak, but we also were already on the pitch.
Oh, and just a bit more detail. Did you know what you're looking for in terms of investment? I don't know if that's too personal, but like some people might be inexperienced as to what they've got and the value of what they got, and may not know where to. I don't know. I'm almost like the beginning phase. Like, what's your value? Sorry, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah. It's definitely hard to value startup businesses. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what. There's a lot of detail that goes into it. That there's a lot of guesswork and a lot of projection and a lot of forecasting that sometimes isn't all the way detailed and factual because you're making estimates. So. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough at the beginning to really establish real, solid, hands, so to speak. It's tough, but it worked out all right. To be honest,
That's good.
It worked out okay. Came through. Yeah.
So going back to the ASOS partnership, 2015, you launched BlVck by ASOS. Tell us about that. Tell us how the brand come about. Tell us about it all. What ASOS's part played, how it helped to propel your business, where you've reached out to.
Yeah. BlVck came around. We had a line in like a line in Wolfish Minds. There was a black range. There was a range of black clothing. It was all black on black, just black t-shirt, black prints. There was a hats, there was a hoodie, there was a jumper. There was a black range. So that was kind of the first instance that told us that this was a thing. And also we checked the statistics. We looked at the statistics, and it was a highly searched term.
Black.
Yeah.
The word black.
It was searched. Wow. So we thought, okay, cool, let's go. Boom. So
how do you check something like that?
That's a great question.
There's loads of different things. There's Google Analytics.
Yeah.
There's we at the time we were looking at Alexa, which was it would show you the rankings of the websites. I haven't looked at it for a while, so it will show you the rankings and traffic and.
When you say Alexa, what do you mean?
The website was called Alexa.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same Alexa that people.
No.
Okay, cool.
No,
That's why I asked. Like, because that sounds like before its time.
Yeah. No, there's no connection at all.
Okay.
There's no connection. So there was a website that you could go. You would check the statistics of anywhere. It's probably still there. I'll have a look. I haven't looked for a while.
I keep thinking you're gonna say statistics.
That's your thing, isn't it?
I've actually got a document somewhere in one of my G drives that's statistics. just cause I wanted to have it there. But no, you go and check the statistics for any website you want. You could go and check your own, check somebody else's. You can see the statistics. I'm gonna say it by accident. So.
You're good, bro. You're good.
See what their traffic's like. See where the traffic's coming from. See what the conversion rates are and stuff like that. So yeah.
Is that site still available? Alexa?
I haven't even looked for a while, brother. I need to have a look. I definitely need to have a look.
Yeah.
I'll check it for sure.
So you've checked. So basically, you've checked the statistics. I can't even say it properly, but you've checked. You've seen that black is one of the most searched words anyway. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say the most search words anywhere, but it was good for what we were doing, and we already had a foot in it. So we thought, that could work. So we started black clothing. It initially started with black t-shirts with just white. Right. Monochrome. It was just monochrome. Yeah. Started doing that, and we was doing a bunch of bootleg stuff. Drake tees, Drake's woes, stuff that we sold consistently for years. Just Drake slogans and different stuff. Just slogans and pictures and loads of different bits. So black initially started as like a I want to say spoof, but not spoof, but like that kind of thing. And then it just developed, and eventually, what was the kicker for black was plain black hoodies. Selling plain black hoodies and then selling every plain hoodie going. Just selling untold black, beige, brown, red, green, yellow, blue, purple. Loads of plain hoodies. No, not even writing on it.
No logo, nothing.
No logo.
Is there a reason why?
Is there a reason why?
I mean, because I don't know. I didn't even know what to say, but I mean, it's just plain. It's not like it may be distinctive, but I'm trying to think, is it really distinctive?
No. Not at all. Zero
Did it
distinction.
have the black label on it?
None. Some of them did. We did have black label stuff that was selling as well. Like we sold a load of black clothing that said the brand black on it. But our booter, like every time we'd have a look at the statistics, plain black hoodie was number one for years. So that was a king. It was a king. So that was 2015.
Black king.
Yeah,
Black king.
it's all about black kings, man. And the sidebar, but black was about, yo, this business is black guys, but that was low P. That wasn't the face of the brand. But if I'm speaking to my black bros and I'm yo, auntie, why is your brand called black? Auntie was asking me, why is it black? Yeah, do you know why? Because we're black guys here. That's the low P thing. But realistically, black people is not our core customer. If we only wanted black people to be our predominant customer, we would not be successful in business because there's not enough of us buying enough of our own stuff. But we sold all around the world. Everywhere. Pick a country, we sold clothes there. Learn new countries from selling clothes there. Anywhere, like Europe, them, everywhere.
And what's your jump into going into different markets? Because you mentioned something about selling like stuff with Drake and stuff like that. And I got a cousin who would turn up at a Drake concert or whatever, and he'll be flinging hoodies out and be picking up bags.
Yeah, there's money.
So I'm saying, like, was that something that you were doing? Almost like guerrilla tactics. I mean, was you doing stuff like that as well, or was you going?
No, we weren't out. We were online. We made our moves online all day long, but it would be similar markets. People that were Drake fans, they would be looking online for their stuff. So at that point we diversified. We were selling all over the place: eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Depop. There was multiple platforms, as well as ASOS, as well as our own site. So yeah, all those people would be coming through.
Is there any issue with you using a Drake slogan on your clothing?
Yeah, there's a couple shutdowns.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple cease and desist.
But you're selling this via ASOS, right?
Yeah, so
would they not have something? I thought they would have some kind of protocol which says actually we can't sell this on our website because of such and such.
It depends on the product. Like there was stuff that was definitely Drake, and then there's stuff that was kind of Drake. It was like the 6 t-shirt and the 6 hoodie that went that flew past. But 1-800 hotline bling that got shut down because that was very, very Drake. Do you know what I mean? So there was stuff that flew through. Like there was All My Friends Are Dead. That got shut down on ASOS. That it was literally said, all my friends are dead. Pushed me to the edge on the arms. Okay. That got shut down. That was literally what's his name? Lil Uzi. His actual
that was I trying to figure it out.
Yeah, cool. Lil Uzi, his record label actually hit us up.
Wow.
Like, yo, this is not on. Take this down. So yeah.
At least it's contact.
Bro, it's progression. That means you made some noise in the world.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
And tell me this. So you've got stuff on ASOS. Say so you had those hoodies that were flying. How often would you meet up with ASOS? And is there a point where you say, do you know what, we're doing numbers here. You need to cut your percentage that you take, or how does it work?
We had those conversations, but they're not on it.
They're not budging. Yeah,
they're not budging. They are strong enough to hold their position. Yeah. They know that they bring us enough value to say, we'll just stick at this percentage. It's all right, cool. You'll still stay. You're not gonna leave us. There's not many alternatives to what they offer for us to say no. Take the value down or we'll leave. No, we probably won't.
But at the same time, did you have your own platform on which you were selling?
Yeah, we still had our own platform and our own website, but they were.
Of course, yeah, they draw a huge traffic.
Yeah, they were doing the better statistics.
So throughout your journey, how important would you say your mindset's been in regards to going from point A to point B and the transition from, I guess, the wolf clothing to black clothing into where you are now, where you want to go?
Mind frame is in my mental state.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, just everything, business wise, personal wise.
Business wise, I've had to make a lot of improvements and a lot of sacrifices in life. I've had to sacrifice loads, time with my family, time with my kids, time for my personal self. So I'd say a lot of the time during this past 4 or 5 years, I'd honestly say I'd neglected myself, my personal developments. So, for the business, I'd say I'd done that. My mental state, it's been ups and downs. It's a rocky terrain. Being self-employed and being in business, it's rocky terrain. Anybody you know that's in business will tell you it's a tough place to be. There's pitfalls, there's bad days, there's bad years, there's bad weeks. So you have to maintain strength and maintain focus and maintain your sanity a lot of the time.
And I mean, it's funny. I was chatting to someone outside about him talking about he's had a bad year-ish, and then in the car I was chatting to French about how I had a bad day. I mean, obviously, me talking to French, obviously that's someone to bounce something off. But at the same time, obviously but we've got books as well to which you can almost solidify your thoughts and your reasons as to why you're doing and the path you're going down. I mean, do you generally have to bounce, whether it's your thoughts, opinions, or solidify your path with anything?
My wife, for a start, I definitely got solidified with the missus. Like, she's the rock. She's the one that's gonna hold it down when, we had a bad month. We had a bad quarter. She's the one that's gonna she's gonna bear the brunt of that. She's gonna be the rock. So that's number one. I've got to bounce it off my partners as well. Yeah. We've got to be in unison. And if it's not, that's when there's problems. So that's and my mentors also. So I bounce stuff to my mentors. This is what's happening. This is what what you should do. So those are the core three things, 3 places. There'll be others. There'll be come across French, you have a chat. Come across other friends that I know that are in business. This is where I've gone. Yeah, do you know what? Hold it down. Keep strong. These kind of conversations. So yeah, that's.
I think it's important to kind of like let people know, really, because I'm sure people know obviously there's pitfalls in business, but I mean, I'll say to Mason or to French that, I mean, I said recently I'm in a great place as to where I am, but I mean, there are days I'm like, what is going on here? I have no idea what's going on, you know what I mean? Like today has been a weird day, whereas yesterday I thought, yesterday I was quite happy.
Yeah, of course.
And you have to pick yourself up.
Definitely, like over the last I'd say 18 months to 2 years, it's been a rocky terrain again. So I've had to maintain focus and maintain my mental clarity and maintain myself and say, right, now you're gonna actually get through this period here. So yeah. And
anyone tell you can't actually? I was like, okay.
Plenty of people. Nah, you know what? This is why you don't do business. This is why you don't get into business with XYZ. This is why you should just get a regular job. And there's plenty of people. There's more people telling you that than anything else.
Does that fuel you on, or does that deter you? Does that kind of, I guess, put doubts in your mind?
Depends on the day, bro. Depends on the day. On a good day, I look at them and laugh and think, you are trapped. Yeah. On a very, very bad day, hand me the application form. Give me an app. Show me the site. Give me the job, something on a bad day. But yeah, there's different days. You got to take it as they come. Really, realistically, you got to really understand what it is that you want to do. Are you capable of doing it? Have you got the team around you to do it? Have they got the skill set around you to do it? Have they got the drive that is needed to do it? Have you got the drive right now that's needed to do it? All these things all these variables. There's loads.
Do you have any like routines that you do on a daily basis or a weekly basis just to kind of get you back onto, I guess, that positive mindset where you're going to be pushing forward? So I see you've brought the book Think and Grow Rich. Like, is that something that you would regularly go back and read a certain chapter or something like that? Desire. Okay.
Yeah, desire. This one of my mentors said to me, read this carefully. I've got a note next to it in the table of contents, read carefully. And I don't even just read it carefully, I read it consistently so that I can understand what desire is more than a wish. It's more than saying, oh man, I really want to do it. It's more than that. It's like, this has to be a burning desire inside of you to want to do whatever it is that you are set out to do, right? I'm gonna do this. There's gonna be no pitfall that's gonna take me off track. There's gonna be no naysayer that's gonna take me off track. There's gonna be no bad day that's gonna make me not remember that I'm aiming for a good life rather than a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. Like, you have to have that burning desire. And some people will call it stubborn. Some people, like, I've had people say, you know what your problem is? You ride it till the wheels fall off. I said, why is that a problem?
Exactly.
Why is that a problem? Like, there's obviously a time to let go. There's a time. But the people that come through that time where everybody else would have let go, didn't let go.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that. So, yeah, there's naysayers. But you just got to pick and choose who you want to listen to at this point. We're all grown. You have to really look around and see what life is and see what it is that you really, really want to do rather than what you just, like, kind of want to do. So that's why that desire is it's got to be a burning desire inside of you. Every day you wake up, I want to get it. Every day you go to bed, what did I do to get it today?
So do you have like a routine, so affirmations or anything like that?
No, I'd say that I'm trying to instill them because I fell out of routine over the last 6 months. I fell out of routine, so I need to get back to routine. But my normal routine was wake up, 50 press ups, wash, kids, take the kids to school, straight to the office. That was my daily routine. But now I'm realizing, all right, you need to maintain and need to refocus and you need to drive. So it's definitely a time for affirmations and definitely a time for those kind of things, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely, because that is my go-to book, and I don't know if you know, but that is the book that's caused the inception of 40 Booked. So when we first, I think me and P, we bucked up on a rose one time, and we was discussing what we've been up to, and somehow it came up that we're both reading Think and Grow Rich, and within it, there's a part where it talks about having a mastermind and having pairs that you can discuss whatever you're going through, and two brains are better than one. Yeah. So this is why we've come together and we all sit down weekly and we discuss everything. But partly why I even mention it is in the first part of the book, it also asks you to write down what your intent is and what you want to get. So that's what I was asking, like, is it something that you do daily? Is it something that you practice?
No, that's why I've picked up this book again, bro. Because I forgot all these things and I fell into poor habits and I fell into poor routines and I fell into not maintaining myself personally as well as, you know, maintaining that daily affirmations. So this is why the books don't leave my side at this point in life. Definitely. Yeah. Because those things, they're imperative. They're the most important things.
What was you going to say, Miss?
I just wanted to know where we're at now. I've seen you come in wearing, it looks like a brand called TrVth.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's your own brand.
Of course, I don't really know.
So tell us about TrVth. Where's that birth from?
TrVth is birthed out of...
I like the tea, by the way.
Thank you very much. TrVth is birthed out of situations within Black and Wolf, and this is the key word that stuck out to me straight away. Like, it's important to tell the truth. So that's where I'm at with this brand here. Like, tell the truth, tell your truth. And for me, truth now is more than just a brand. Like, we've always had brands that were more than just a brand. So it's inevitable that this new brand is more than just a brand. This truth is about your truth, his truth, our truth, collective truth. The truth is the truth no matter what. But you will have your own individual truths that you need to come to terms with, your own individual truths that you need to portray or want to portray. There's one or the other. You might not need to tell everybody your truth. Your truth is truth to you. You can just keep it if you got things that you like to do, if you're homosexual, if you're whatever the weather may be. Like, that's your truth. Keep your truth to yourself if you want to, or have your truth externally to the world. But be truthful. Tell the truth. Don't lie. Don't be dishonest. Don't take anybody for granted. Don't do anything that you wouldn't want done to you. Tell the truth. That's this brand, and I want to grow it into what you guys do, podcasts. What's your truth? What's your daily truth? Every day you'll see a daily truth. This person will come French, will say, right, this is my truth. I've been here, I've done this, and this is who I am. Every day.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find the brand Truth?
Truth with a V, rather than a U. Just like how Black was a BLVCK, this is Truth with a V. Mm-hmm. So, truth.co.uk.
With a V.
With a V. Yeah. Or social media, truth_clothing. It's all available, it's all there. Everything's open, ready to go.
And last question for myself, what's the plan for the next 5 years, if you can share it with us? What's your truth?
My truth. My truth, first and foremost, to be very honest, is personal development. Is doing all the things that I should have done in my previous businesses. Learning all the things that I should have learned that I didn't learn. Personal development is number one. And number two is opening up a space for other people to be truthful about who they are. And a hub. Come, tell your truth. You've been through this, you've been through that. What's your mental health state? Like a lot of men, black young men in our generation, in our circles, have gone through stresses and horrors in life, and they can't talk about it. There's no outlet. We're in a society that says no, hold it together. Just hold it together. Don't tell anybody your problems. Keep it. Just shut up. Don't bother explaining. Don't even try and get over it. Just shut up and carry on moving. So for me, we need to have these conversations because there's a lot of us that have suffered, that have been through traumas.
They're not words you're exaggerating.
They're not words that I'm exaggerating. Traumas. How many people you know that's been to prison, that's lost their friend, that's lost their cousin, that's lost their brother, that's whose dad wasn't around, whose mums wasn't around, whose grandparents died, whose they've seen their friends, they know crackheads, they've seen friends turn into crackheads. There's traumatic incidents that have happened that people have not come to terms with, that people have not spoken about. They haven't had their moment of truth. So for me, it's a new era in the world. Like we are a lot more open now to actually having conversations about what it is that we've been through and where it is that we're trying to go and how we're going to get to community cohesion, especially amongst young black men, but in the wider community as well. Like Dave down the road, his truth is kind of similar to yours sometimes, but you don't have those conversations because you and Dave think that you're two completely different guys. But it's not. If you told the truth to each other, you might find out that you've got a lot in common. So yeah, this is part of that as well. For the next 5 years is developing brands and developing a hub for other people to come and do what we have done. Come through, we'll show you the pitfalls, we'll show you why it's hard, we'll tell you the truth about what's happened to us in business. We'll show you, okay, cool, we went to China. You don't need to go to China because your brethren actually does some manufacturing down the road, but you lot don't want to work together. He ain't even told you the truth about what he's doing because he doesn't think you're ready, or you don't think he's ready. So there's a lot of coming together that needs to be done.
Needs to happen.
Yeah, for me, that's the next 5 years. Just getting my business models down, getting my business models planned and organised and detailed and focused, for sure.
All right, cool, man. I've got 3 last questions for you. I don't know if you want to ask anything. I'll start off the first one. What is your 3 top values that you apply to your business?
3 top values: honesty, consistency, and what's the last one? Honesty and consistency, and just the ability to go the extra mile when you're in a team, to look to the left and right of you and say, right, we're moving together. That's important for me at this point. Like, let's all move together and stay solid. Let's lock arms. We want to move forward. We're better as a team than we are as individuals. So yeah, team is definitely the third one.
Cool.
Yeah. Love that.
Second question. If you had a wand, but you could have 3 wishes, but it has to be 3 realistic wishes.
What is that?
So it can't be like, I wanna wish for another wishing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be actually realistic things that you can almost do, but you would need. I don't even want to put too much emphasis on it.
Yeah.
Just if you could wish for three realistic things, what would they be?
I wish for the truth. Mm-hmm. Tell the truth.
Speak that truth.
All the way around. Be honest. Live honourably.
What, everyone or yourself?
Everyone.
Okay.
Like, everyone. Myself included. Like, I might not tell you the truth all the time, but I might hide something from you.
Admit the truth.
I might admit the truth. Yeah. So, I might need to be more truthful sometimes. Sometimes I don't tell everything all the time. So, for myself as well, that is, truth is definitely number one. So, be truthful about what it is. If you're having a bad day, tell the truth. If you're having a good day, tell the truth. If somebody's done you wrong, tell them the truth. If you're doing somebody wrong, stop doing them wrong. Tell the truth. So that's number one. A truthful landscape. Number two. Number two is not needing to rest. If I could wish to not need to rest, bro. If I could work 24 hours a day. With obviously okay, let me not say rest, but if I didn't have anything else to do, if I could say, all right, cool, I'm gonna work 10 to 10 and then work some more after that and not need to have to actually sleep, man. I gotta sleep, man. I'm tired. Damn, that would be good. But as well as make time for leisure, which is important. So that's not needing so much rest. Just a third wish. Let me see. I'll apply it to myself. Consistency. Stay consistent. If I get up at 7 today, get up at 7 tomorrow, get up at 7 every day. Stay consistent. If I put 110% in today, put 110% in every day. And that's for me and everybody else, to be honest, as well. Yes, just stay consistent. Yeah. So it kind of reflects the first question, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too bad of a repeat. I might get another one.
No, I get it. I guess the last one would be, what 3 books couldn't you live without?
Think and Grow Rich is definitely number one. Something that I've really, really, really dug into this week, bruv, is the art of not giving a fuck. Because
the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
The subtle art of not giving a fuck. Because I've realised that there was things I was giving a fuck about that I didn't need to give a fuck about. And there was things that I really, really needed to give a fuck about that I didn't give a fuck about. And realising that if you give a fuck about too much little shit, you don't really focusing on the big shit that you need to give a fuck about.
Yeah, it's true.
I really wish someone did a fuck count on that book, bro. That would be cool. Because I've been listening to it on audio as well, so it's like, damn, this fuck, like every third word is fuck. But yeah, that's definitely the second book. I'd say that the Richard Branson book that I read, yeah, that's the 3, because that taught me a lot. That taught me a lot. Like, let others do what they're good at. Let others do their passions.
Yeah.
That was the core thing that I took from that book as well. Yeah, for sure. Those 3.
Cool. All
Great.
right, bro. Yeah, no, sweet, man.
Excellent.
I was gonna say as well. Do you listen to, just a last question? I know I said 3, but
don't worry,
do
man.
you listen to audiobooks as well?
Yes, for sure. Like, I drive places, and I work with my hands, and I've got kids, and yeah, so audiobooks. I find in this new age, audiobooks are not new, to be honest, but they're a lot easier to obtain. Like, YouTube is endless audiobooks, and then you got apps on top of apps and new apps coming all the time with audiobooks. So definitely audiobooks, I say, is good, because you don't have to have that book in your hand and stop and keep the book with you and, oh man, I left my book at home. No, but I didn't leave my phone. I definitely didn't leave my phone. I definitely didn't. So I've got my headphones, or I've got my aux, or I've got my Bluetooth, and I'm so, all right, cool, book time. Kids, no, what do you mean you want to listen to Coco Melon or flipping Baby Shark. No, we're not listening to Baby Shark today. We're listening to a book, and hopefully they'll get it too. They'll consume. Yeah, they'll consume some of it as well. Because like in my car, I'm not listening to just the same repetitive music over and over again. I have to take myself away from LBC because I want to hear what's going on in the world. So yeah, audiobooks is definitely a goer. Everybody should try to consume an audiobook rather than listen to the radio every now and again. Do you know what I mean? Because the radio, you heard that song yesterday. You probably heard it 20 minutes ago. You probably heard it on the same station 12 times today. So why are you listening to it again? You know all the words now. Try and know all the words to this audiobook. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely audiobooks, man.
And
sure.
podcasts, full e-booked.
Full e-books. Yeah, podcast is a new way, man. And there'll be more. So keep an eye on truth.co.uk. We'll be doing some podcasts. I'm gonna definitely get you guys down. We'll speak some truth, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Because I like what you guys have done, man. I remember seeing you in the gym, just having a conversation with the brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when you first started this, bro.
Yeah,
bro. Nah, it's good. Definitely,
appreciate it, bro.
Nah, keep it up, man. Appreciate what you lot do, bro. For sure. Shout out to you, man, bro. Definitely.
Much appreciated. It's a pleasure.
Hector, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
People, what's your truth? Make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments. We want to know about your truths too. Yeah, that's been great. Thank you for joining us, people.
Right,
thank you.